This is Norn for A-Game TV, and we're at the A-Game 8th Annual Father and Son Day Carnival. Well, let's talk to some of the fathers out here. Well, here comes a grandfather at least. Can you come over and say a couple of words for A-Game?
Dad, can I have this?
Boy, put that down.
You want to talk to me? Whoa, this 28-year-old body sure don't work like it used to.
28? You look more like you're 78.
Dad, can I go in there?
I can't afford that.
Can I have this horse?
Oh, you done broke the merry-go-round.
Dad, can I have this?
Come save me down here today. This boy done took all my energy.
Wow, you really should try A-Game. It's an all-natural solution that's going to give you the energy and pep you need to keep up with that young whippersnapper you got there.
Can I have this?
Oh, who's gonna pay for all this? Hey, can y'all take a two-party out-of-state check?
Here, try some. Wow, that really turned you into a super dad.
Yeah, and with all this energy, I'm really about to enjoy my father's time.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another super dad. This is Norin for A-Game TV signing off. Remember, stay on your A-Game.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello. How we doing? How I fly get in here? It's a fly in here. The window's closed. Thank you all for kicking it off. Proverbs, Lifestyle, and Pharaoh Ismail. Thank you so much for the super chat. So, Black women can't accept rejection. And when I say rejection, I don't mean like one-to-one, a man don't want you and all of that type of thing. I don't mean rejection as in she tried to talk to a guy, she shot her shot, he turned her down. That, no woman likes that. So that's not really what I'm talking about. What I'm really talking about is the mass rejection that Black women are experiencing from men in general. That's what I'm really talking about. I'm talking about Black men coming out and saying, look, we're no longer dealing with you all the way that you want us to deal with you in these deep relationships, marriages, all of this sort of thing. We're not dealing with you in that way anymore, especially not to the level that we were dealing with you before. We're as Black men, they're saying no more. We're a bit fed up with the way that we've been treated in these relationships. We've tried to do things the right way. We've tried to listen to what Black women have said is the right way to deal with them. And it doesn't seem like anything that we do really works. And I want to kind of talk about a couple of things today before we jump real dead off into the cognitive dissonance that Black women enter into when they hear Black men say, we're tired. We tired. So before I get into that, I want to say a couple of things. Just because we talking about the ills of Black women, there's always this pushback of, well, what about the men? Thank you, Norrin. The men have not done X, Y, and Z. And I've never come here to talk about how perfect anybody is. Men, women, nobody. Right? Because if you take a look around YouTube, other social media platforms, you will hear men talking to each other about their own issues, about Black men's collective issues that don't have anything to do with what the women think or what the women are saying or anything like that. They're talking among themselves and saying, you know what, Black men need to step up and do X, Y, and Z. Black men need to, you know what I'm saying, get their stuff together so that we can lead these families. It's a lot of F-boys around here. It's a lot of pookies. It's a lot of this, a lot of that going on among the men. So therefore, we got to address those guys. And, you know, some of them guys is your boys. Some of them guys, you know what I'm saying? You know these guys, or you've been that guy, or you are that guy. What is with this fly? Excuse me, y'all. Anyway, hey, Bronze. So the missing part, though, is we don't hear this same kind of conversation on women's channels. We don't hear these same kinds of conversations where women are saying, you know what, we need to get our stuff together. It's only channels like mine. It's only channels like Danica. It's only channels like Chantel. It's only channels like Shay Sade. It's only channels like Reva. You know, it's only channels like ours that are saying, listen, ladies, we know that the men have problems and blah, 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 blah. But we can no longer ignore how Black women contribute to all of this stuff. Okay? So now, here's the thing. I'm going to kind of piggyback off of the video that I did earlier today, the single by choice. And I think that that's a really a subject that we need to talk more about, because every time a woman says that, we go ahead and we kind of roast it and we laugh because it sounds silly, and it is silly, but it can't be overlooked where that's actually coming from, right? It can't be overlooked where I'm single by choice is coming from. The first thing that we have to understand is that I'm single by choice is a made up concept created as a coping mechanism for Black women to deal with the fact that they have reached a certain age and have never been chosen for a serious relationship. It is a coping mechanism to deal with declining marriage rates. It is a coping mechanism to deal with the escalating single mother numbers. It is a coping mechanism for being told that they are collectively undesirable due to certain traits that Black women have and perpetuate culturally. Okay? So when confronted on these platforms, which Black women like to also say that I don't hear these conversations nowhere but YouTube, nowhere but, these conversations are not being held in the real world. That's because we don't live in communities. I'm not going to get too far down into that, but we don't hear these conversations in the real world, quote unquote, because thank you, Arvin, because we don't live in communities where we congregating. We can't congregate in the church no more because it's full of tomfoolery. And the masjid, unfortunately, is full of tomfoolery too. I'm getting kind of fed up with the Muslims too. So I don't want nobody to think that when I mention church, I'm trying to pick on Christians and pick on the church, because I haven't been to church in 30 some years. I remember it though, hasn't much changed since I've been in it, which is unfortunate. So we can't go to these places to have these kinds of conversations because it's too much into the lost value system. Just like that preacher, if you can call him that, so-called bishop, you know, you had to be somebody of some type of piety and good character before you could be called a bishop back in my day. But in any case, that Lamar Whitehead, Bishop White, you know, everybody want to be a bishop. Wearing Gucci suits and done got jacked. And then now it's like a speculation that he might have staged that or something like that. So we got that kind of foolishness going on. Okay, prosperity preaching and all that kind of stuff. And then in the masjid, we don't so much have prosperity teaching. We got poverty teaching in there. I'm not even going to go there because that gets me so riled up and it's so off topic. That's why I'm not going to go there right now. Because that really grinds my gears. That really that poverty. Both of them is the same side, the different side of the same coin. That prosperity preaching, and then that poverty preaching. I don't like either one of them. Because there ain't no balance to it. But anyway, let me stick to the topic. So we have Black women not trying to deal with what's going on in themselves, in the community, and to see why they're not entering into healthy long-term relationships and marriages. Oh, we don't have this conversation, you know, outside of YouTube or outside of social media. That's part of the problem. But now that we have social media, it acts as a digital town hall center, is what it is. And then we trying to, you know, get away from the point by almost like dismissing it and or saying, oh, we shouldn't air out our dirty laundry for everybody to see. We well past that point. We well past that point. Because if we could handle this stuff in-house, because we got houses to handle it in, we would have handled it already, but we didn't. And it wasn't just the men that pushed things to a certain point. The women did it too. Because people get tired of your BS. And that's the thing that Black women don't understand. There's a certain point where when you get fed up, it's like we done. We done with it. Gave you a bunch of chances to correct. Gave you a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, opportunities to self-correct. You didn't take none of them. Because you took for granted. Black women take for granted that Black men are always going to be waiting around with open arms for them to come to in any condition. And that well is quickly running dry. It's running dry. Ultimately, what's happening is that Black women are not able to cope with being told that collectively they're difficult to love, difficult to cherish, difficult to honor, difficult to care for, and difficult to protect. And they difficult because you make yourself difficult. You being difficult. When correction come, ain't no taking it. Avoiding everything that can actually make a situation better. The issues that black men are saying are resolvable issues. Now, we ain't gonna say it's gonna happen overnight. We not saying it's necessarily gonna be super easy or that it's not going to take a ton of work to be done. But we also can't say that it is impossible to be done. And waiting until you're beyond the wall, waiting until you're bitter, waiting until you've gone through situationship after situationship, it was unhealthy and it was toxic. And the thing I'm tired of is black women trying to act like they're going into these relationships in good faith. And you not. You participate in the transaction. The vast majority of the time, you initiate the transactional situation rather than the relationship situation by sitting there talking about you glad you single. So you get out here with the intent to play too. It's not just the F boys, it's the city girls too. Y'all little city girls, y'all little hot summer girls. You come out here with the mindset that you about to play with somebody, that you about to finesse somebody, that you about to get something from somebody and not give nothing, or give the bare minimum, or give just what you can get away with, or what somebody will let you get away with. So we got to stop that cap too. That only the men are out here playing. They playing because you playing. They playing because you playing. You come out here to play. And then your heart get broke because you can't play the game like men play it. So you the one that end up in this broken state. You're the one that end up in this bitter state. You're the one that comes to realize that your time was spent in this foolishness and you didn't make good use of your fertility. You didn't make good use of your beauty. You didn't make good use of your youth. You didn't make good use of your best prime years. You didn't make good use of them. So then when you realize you didn't make good use of that type of stuff, now you want to defend these decisions by saying, well, I don't have a man, not because I was so engaged in foolishness, I couldn't get no man to take me seriously, and I was so dedicated to the transaction and being a city girl that I couldn't be taken seriously anyway. Now you want to defend it at 28, 29, 32. That ain't nobody took you seriously. Now you want to talk about, oh, I'm single by choice. Oh, I'm working on myself. And what exactly does that mean? What are you working on? We got to heal. Heal from what? Because if you hadn't have been out there playing in the field with no shoulder pads, helmet, or knee pads, you wouldn't have been broken so that you would have had to heal. The majority of y'all are not even in relationships and never have been. That's starting to come out on social media now. A bunch of y'all starting to come out and say, you know what? I've never been in a serious relationship. All of my dealings with men have been transactional. All of them. All of them. All of them. I've never been in a situation where me and a man had conversations and discussions about how we plan to move forward together in life as a couple. I have never had those conversations with any man. And we need to stop acting like we being victimized by that because you want to go out there and do that. Because you think it's fun. You think it's fun to not be under no type of order with no man. You want to be free. That's what it is. Just say that. Just embrace that. Embrace that. Thank you, Philip. So unfortunately damaged goods, and they're passing it down. So okay, without changes in the pervasive single parent house epidemic, which is ground zero, not looking good. Thank you so much. So you having issues because you ain't never been in no relationship, and then y'all want to pop up talking about you being cheated on, talking about what these dudes is doing. They doing the same thing you doing. So what you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? They doing the same thing you doing. They slipping around with this girl and that girl just like you slipping around with that dude and that dude. And you don't tell Peter about Paul. Y'all got rotations too. Stop acting like it's just these dudes. Stop acting like y'all are going into these relationships wholesome with a whole heart and these men is just playing with y'all. You the one went up with that dude because he had good D. Okay? His tongue game was out of control. And you was taken by that. You couldn't get enough of that dude. And because you couldn't get enough of that dude, you start letting him hit it raw. Because you like that feeling. Let's just be real, ladies. We like that feeling. We like that raw feeling just like they do. Stop the cap. We like that raw feeling just like they do. Let me be real adult right now. A real grown woman right now. It almost ain't nothing more euphoric during sex than to feel that man orgasm against and inside of you. With no barrier. That is top 2 or 3, if not number 1, of the euphoric feelings that we get in sex. That's why you letting him shoot the club up. Because we like how that feel. Thank you, Philip. Gotta run. Keep cooking. The work you put in is appreciated. Thank you so much. Let's be real. Thank you, Joker. I don't know how men experience that. I have no idea how men experience that. But I'm telling you from the feminine side, from the woman's side, it almost ain't nothing more euphoric than to actually feel the orgasm happen inside of you. Period. So you let him shoot the club up because we like the shooting of the club. Them the only bullets I know feel good. So we almost to our commercial break, but before we go, bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta we gotta hit the like button, everybody. We got 355 wonderful likes. So if we could just get the other 400 people to hit the like button, that'd be awesome. But after these messages, we'll be right back.
Thank you for joining the A-Game Zoom meeting. Juan, start us off with your financial projections.
Oh, golly, Wally, what is that?
Wait, does he even know he's lying?
Why are his pants so tight? Oh, you just got the... Is he pop locking?
He does have moves. Go on.
Or the breakdance?
Ooh, I hope he doesn't split his tight pants.
Oh, go one. Go, eat the birthday. Go one, eat the birthday.
You better clap yourself like you work. In there dancing around like you crazy.
Okay, that was pretty good. Now that Juan has given us his unauthorized dance routine, does anyone else have a dance routine they want to do? Okay, well, let's get back to showing the world why A-Game is the #1 herbal solution in the world. However, I kind of want to know why his pants were so tight too, but let's get back to being on our A-Game.
That's what I hope y'all get up did clap yourself back to the live stream. Yay, we got the likes. Yay. That's awesome. So let's get back into this. Black women trying to say I'm single by choice is just a scapegoat. It's something to give black women a place to go to avoid certain things. They're avoiding introspection. Okay? They're avoiding introspection. Looking inside of me to see what's going on as the reason why I keep on getting the results that I get. You keep on running into these F-19s. You keep on running into this one and that one. You keep on running into the dude that done did you dirty. He doing another woman dirty. He cheating. He blah, 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 blah. You keep running into these dudes. Why? It's something in you. And we don't want to hear that as black women, that it's something going on with me. There is some kind of energy that I'm putting out that a certain kind of energy is coming back. This low vibrational male hyena energy might be because I'm being a hyena. I'm giving off hyena energy. I'm giving off that 304 energy. Thank you, Chano. I'm giving off that hyena energy, 304 energy, thought energy, and that's what dudes is reading. That's the part that black women are not liking, that men are waking up to see you as you presented yourself, not see you as he would want you to be. No. The red pill man is seeing you how you just presented, and he's taking it at face value, and then he's treating you according to that. Because it's a little saying that goes, actions speak louder than words. You say what you want. You make your mouth say what you want to make your mouth say. Anybody can. Anybody can. You make your mouth say what you want. Sound good. Sound good. But what's really happening to you? You're hiding behind the healing journey. You're avoiding the healing journey because then you gotta face who you really are versus who you tell yourself you are. That's the other thing. Thank you, Miss Raven. Thank you, Norrin, again. Said we are how we present ourselves to the world. Exactly. The perception is the reality. The perception is the reality. And if the world is not taking you how you want them to take you, then maybe you got to reevaluate how you presenting. This is a little lesson that I have learned because I speak a certain way. A lot of times I speak in half sentences, half thoughts. And I'll say a sentence that I know what it means, but it's a ill-formed thought. And then when people take it in a way I didn't mean for them to take it, I want to get sensitive about that. But what I had to come to realize is that they're taking it how you said it. They're taking what you said, not what they don't know all about what thoughts you had that preceded that sentence. They don't know about the intent in your heart when you say, they only know what you gave them. That's what they know. Thank you, Ed Davey. So be more careful about what you giving people and how you giving it to them instead of getting sensitive about how they take it. Black women avoid abandoning the feminist / white survivalist mindset that makes them see black men as the source of all their problems, ills, bitterness, and failures in life as women. That's a big one. That's a big one. Because that is the number one roadblock that black women have yet to get over collectively. The mindset that, first of all, we are inherently, biologically, culturally, and environmentally better than black men. That is where you get the, he gotta take me as I am because he's not worthy of me doing no work to be better than what I am or to give him the best version of me, because why does he deserve the best version of me? He just better be glad he can get me at all. This is where the pushback comes from about not losing no weight and we not gonna do this, that, and the third. Always kicking stuff off with what you not gonna do. Wrong attitude. Because you don't go nowhere else telling folk what you not gonna do. And when you go to a job interview and they ask you how you gonna help this company, I hope you got sense enough to not sit there at that interview and tell them, well, what I'm not gonna do. No, you're gonna try to approach that from the positive end. Well, these are the skills I bring. This is the experience that I bring. This is the value that I bring to you. This is why you want me in this position. I hope you got sense enough to say that. It's the same concept everywhere. It's the same thing in a relationship. When a man say, what value do you bring to me? Well, what we not gonna do, see, you out the door. Bye. Bye. Sayonara. Arrivederci. Ciao, Bella. Because I know you ain't starting no sentence with what you wasn't going to do. I didn't ask you what you didn't want to do. I asked you what you were going to do. Black men are not the cause of all of your failings and bitterness as women. It's the mindset that you carry on you, around you, and in you that is the cause for the rejection in the first place. Because one of the main things that it has caused us to do as black women is to continue to hate ourselves. We don't like us very much. So this is why we looking for black men to secure insecurities that we have in us. That's not their job. because that is an inner work. Let's get to the inner work. Let's get to how it can be fixed. The first thing that's got to be fixed is this is a character correction. That's what we say in Islam, in Arabiya. It's your ikhlaq, your character. Good ikhlaq, bad ikhlaq. Having bad character with people. And we like to dress that up as I'm just being real, or I'm just telling the truth, or I'm just being me, or I'm just being whatever. But the reality is that these are negative character traits. You're displaying bad character with people. And don't nobody want to deal with that energy. That's the part we got to accept. We got to see that. Don't nobody want to deal with that energy. It is normalized to us in our little circle and stuff like that. It's cute to be ready to cuss somebody out. It's cute to be ready to snap on somebody. It's cute to be willing to tell somebody a thing or two. You know, you gonna read them. You gonna let them know. You gonna get them told. You gonna gather them together. And all of them little sayings that are basically pointing to bad character. That's a spiritual issue. To fix the character flaws. To fix that bad character and turn it into good character. Because just because it's normalized to us doesn't make it normal, and it doesn't make it okay. That's why we can't get no higher. Because we think all of that stuff is cute somehow. And we don't understand how that really make us look. How it really make other people who don't exist in that world, who don't exist in the negative, chaotic, I'm going to cuss you out, you boy, you, and all of that. It make you look like a fool. You look like a fool. What I'm talking about right now is how you become, how you come from a low quality woman to a higher quality woman. And the reason why I know how to tell you this stuff is because I had to make this same journey. Because I grew up here with gynocratic teachings and gynocratic belief systems and all of that. How to go from low quality to high quality. And notice I ain't said nothing about your money. I ain't said nothing about no job. I ain't said nothing about no career. I ain't said nothing about your education level. I have not said nothing about none of it. I'm talking about your internal value as a person, as a human being, as a woman. When your character bad, don't nobody want to deal with you except other people of similar characteristics. That's why you always getting amen from the peanut gallery, because that's your gallery, them your people. They just as negative and backwards as you are. And then when you run into other people that don't think like that, that don't carry their life like that, that have better character than that, and they be looking at you like, now you want to, are they acting funny? No, they're not acting funny. You're crazy is what it is. They not acting funny, it's you. And because we seen our mothers do it, because we seen our cousins do it, because we grew up in school, our schoolmates was doing it, and all of this type of stuff, and it's culturally this, that, and the third, we think it's okay, and it has never been okay. Too many black women are just not good people. You run around and you do people dirty as a matter of course. You hide your bad character behind, I'm just keeping it real. Listen. When you're really telling the truth to somebody, not even telling the truth to somebody, intentions drive an action. Any action that you do is driven by the intent that you have when you begin that action. One exercise that we as Muslims have that we're supposed to do is that whenever we engage in any kind of action, we need to check our intent 3 times: at the beginning of the act, during the act, after the act. And what we're checking for is whether or not we are doing something for the pleasure of Allah or some other motive. And for us, any other motive other than the pleasure of Allah is wrong. And that's a hard taskmaster, actually. It sounds simple, but in its practice, very difficult. Because we have a lot of motivations for why we do stuff. So if I come to tell somebody something that might be a sensitive issue and I want to bring it to their attention, the first thing you got to do is check, why do you want to do that? Why are you doing it? Are you doing it for the greatest interest of this person's growth? Or are you just trying to call somebody out because you think you bad enough to call somebody out? Because one of them intentions will get you good results and the other one might get you smacked. Because make no mistake, people feel the energy with which you deliver things. Here's the next thing that you can do. Begin to see yourself in a different light. See yourself with truth regardless of what that is. You have to start seeing yourself for who you are, not who you tell yourself or the imaginary. We all like to imagine that we are morally superior and that we're the ones that's right and that we're doing what we're supposed to do and doing what's right, even when we know we're not. The third thing is we have to come to the understanding of our impact on people. The people in our circle, our family, our friends, etc. You have an impact on people. You do. And it can be a positive impact or it can be a negative impact. You can either add value where you are or you can drain where you are. You can either add value to the people around you or you can take from them in such a way where they like, it's not beneficial for me to share space with you. The way in which we can begin to understand our impact that we have on people is to examine and accept, not just examine, but also accept other people's experience of you. This is the hardest pill to swallow. Because what it does is it opens you up to the criticism of other people, people who are close to you, people who know you best, people who spend a lot of time around you and have seen you in various different modes of life and moods and mindsets and situations and all of that. And they've observed how you react to other people, how you react to them, you know, and all of these different things. So these people, whether they, you know what I'm saying, they might still kick it with you, but they might have an experience of you that might not always be such a glowing report. And if you are a person of the mindset that you ain't ever wrong, this gonna be the hardest part. Thank you, Wayne. Said, question, is there a beautiful woman on YouTube named Miss Kendra I'm in love with? What advice can you give me to get her attention? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. This is going to be the hardest pill to swallow. Thank you, Child of Light. Said, woo, Sister Kendra, you looking like all kinds of fire. Thank you. Accepting the constructive criticism of other people, be they your friends, be they your family members, be they your children, whoever these people are in your life, you have to be able to accept the constructive criticism of these people because it is critical to your self-development. This is critical to your self-development. I don't know no diamond that become a diamond without no pressure. I don't know how you do that. I have never met a person that has ever become better without no constructive criticism. I don't understand that. The only time that I have ever truly improved was when I got feedback from the people that meant something to me, the people that I loved, the people that I didn't want to let down, the people that I cared about, that I knew cared about me. And when they came to me and said, Kendra, no, you're doing wrong. You're doing wrong, baby. It's not what you think it is. I don't know what you thought you could accomplish with going down this route, but it's not the right route. And no, it never feels good. It never feel good. Thank you, Aaron. Said, thank you, young lady. Thank you, 39 Dina. It don't never feel good. It's always bitter medicine. I have never taken constructive criticism that was sweet, ever. No matter how lovingly it was given to me. It's not even about the delivery. It's about the fact that I feel it in every fiber of me when somebody I love sit me down and say no. You've been going down this little road for a little minute, and I'm here to pull your coattail. It's not going to end well. Thank you, Firefox. Said the well of truth is deep and you draw from it daily. Thank you. I have never had sweet medicine. But I'm here to tell you that every time I took that bitter medicine, I grew. I grew. I may have cried about it. I may not have liked it. I may have felt some type of way. But once you get over yourself, once you go ahead and get over yourself, then you can begin to see what somebody else is really saying. Come from their perspective, not your perspective. Because when you can't come from the other person's perspective, that means that you are trying to justify how you've been wrong, but it's really right. and it is not justifiable. Despite the fact that you engage in the wrongdoing, it doesn't make it justifiable. And that's where we really go wrong as black women, because when we're negative like that, we justify what we've done and how we did it and why we did it. So that when people come tell us, you hurt me, or you negatively impacted me, your actions, your words, instead of just accepting that and growing from it, you start defending yourself and justifying your wrongdoing. And that doesn't do anything but perpetuate the negative. The most classic example of black women doing that is when they wrong their children. They don't take responsibility for it, and their first justification is, I did the best I could do. That was your best? Well, I would have hated to see your worst if that was your best. And we run around here and we ruin relationships with our men. We ruin relationships with our children. We ruin relationships, friendships, all types of different relationships, being haughty and arrogant and feeling like your stuff don't stink. And we're more interested in being right than we are in cultivating peace. And that is one of the biggest downfalls that we have collectively as black women that's holding us back from actually doing our part to repair what is broken between black men and black women. We still more interested in being right. I gotta win the argument. That's where this single by choice nonsense come from. Because I can't get hemmed in a corner and made to really sit down and confront, why haven't I been able to sustain a healthy relationship at all? I'm ruining myself. I'm destroying me. I'm getting 40, 50 years old. Getting tired of the strong and independent. It is so many videos now that black women are coming out with, trying to explain why they single, trying to explain what happened, and they didn't really mean it when they said that they were strong and independent and didn't need no man, and blah, 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 blah. Thank you again, Wayne. Said you were the only woman on Angry Man's live stream supporting black men during the heat of this gender war I've been watching for a long time. Thank you so much for that support. I appreciate you. But this is what we've done. We have helped to tear down the foundation because we constantly are negative about everything. We can't be at fault. And we rather the chaos over the peace is what it really boiled down to. We rather be right than have peace. And just say, and then act on, you know what? We were wrong. We did things that we wasn't supposed to do as black women. We have perpetuated a lot of foolishness. We have participated willingly, knowingly, eagerly in a lot of foolishness. It's not just the men. We have gone just as disingenuously into relationships as we claim the men have done. We've cheated just as much. We done dirty just as much. We're just as neglectful of parents as we accuse black men of being. We've done everything that we accuse black men of always doing. So I'm willing to take the L. I'm willing to eat it. so we can move forward. And somehow we can't manage to do that. And it's really a shame. The most shameful part of it is that the issue is so fixable. It's not irreparable. That's one of my biggest issues with it. It's not even something we can't do. It's not even anything outside of our control. We can control it. We just don't want to. Because it means that not only did you make the wrong choice, but your mother made the wrong choices and taught you wrong. Her mama made the wrong choices and taught her wrong. And just to own up to, my mindset, the way I carry stuff, it don't help nothing. It don't help nothing. It don't help nobody. It don't help me. It don't help nobody. Nobody is benefited. So why don't I change? Why don't I implement some changes instead of trying to figure out how the men can implement changes? Remove the mote out of your own eye before you try to remove the beam out of somebody else's. Get yourself together. Can't hold other people accountable to a level that you unwilling to hold yourself. So you can't hold black men accountable for what they don't do when you can't hold you accountable for what you don't do, is the part that you don't understand. There was a mother who came to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and said, my son will not stop eating this little sweet, candy or whatever, and his teeth is messing up. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam order him to stop eating, and he'll listen to you. The Prophet looked at her and said, come back in a couple of days. Come back in a few days and make that same request. So she did. She left. A few days later, she came back. Then he said, where's your son? She had him. He said, okay, stop eating the little sweet thing. So then she asked the Prophet, why did you make me come back? He said, because I had to stop eating the sweet thing. Before I could tell him he couldn't do it. So anyway, I want to go ahead and draw attention to the petition we have against the Black Lives Matter organization. I am so glad that, we have crossed over that 45, I think we crossed over the 4,600 signature barrier as well. So I'm deeply grateful for everybody who has supported the petition. It means so much to us that you supported it, that you put your name on it, that you shared it. I've seen people share it on their Twitters and all of this type of thing. And I'm very, very grateful for that type of support. And we need even more support. So if you want to be part of holding Black Lives Matter as an organization responsible and accountable to the Black community that they stole from, then please go ahead and add your signature to the petition. The link to that petition is in the chat. It is also in the description box if you're watching this on playback. Sign it, share it. Please contribute to it if you can. Also, today's awesome content was brought to you by A Game. A Game. A Game. We've been on our A game for a minute around here, haven't we, Crimsonites? I know y'all been on y'all. I've been trying to be on my A game, every day to bring you this wonderful content and to bring you this wonderful product, the best herbal male solution on the market, period, bar none. It is second to none. It is 100% natural. So we don't have any artificial ingredients. There are no inactive ingredients. There are no fillers. There are no sweeteners. There's no caffeine. There's nothing to adversely affect the man that takes A game for his overall health and to improve his vitality, improve his strength, improve his energy, and improve his libido by improving the blood flow in his body. So if you're curious and you want to become part of the A game family, you want to know, well, what's in A game that makes it so potent you only take it once every 3 days? Well, we glad to help you out. What you need to do, number one, is go to the top of the chat and click the link, agameherbal.com. What that's going to do is take you to the website where you can take a look at each herb that is included in this special formula. And after you are so impressed with how awesome this is, you go ahead and put it in your shopping cart. And please don't forget to get your 10% discount using the code Kendra10. You can save a little money and you can save a lot of your health as well. And this wonderful product will be on its way to you ASAP. I want to thank everyone for their super generous contributions. Thank you so much. Make It Make Sense. Said good evening too in the chat. And I signed it months ago. Wish I could sign it twice. Anyway, my bad. Missed the show. We'll watch the replay. No problem, sweetheart. Thank everyone for their contribution. Everyone for your likes, for coming through and listening today. And last but not least, I want to thank my support team, without which we cannot come up with this very important content that we deliver to you daily. So thank them as well. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next.